Then we'll get started. Welcome everyone to another event of Spirit Week. We are so glad to have all of you joining us. We are excited to introduce you to our debaters this evening. I want to let you know that we have one more day of Spirit Week, and the events that we have coming up tomorrow at 2 o'clock are Soul Collage with Chaplain Jen B. Miller, a virtual cook-off event at 4 o'clock, and then cocktails and connecting. So bring your favorite drink, and we're just going to socialize at 8:30 in the evening. I am going to show you my screen so you can see our lineup for tonight of debaters, and you will hear a little bio from each of them before their debate. The way that this will work tonight is, we have our welcome. Jonathan will be our MC who's going to give the introductions. In each debate, there will be the first person will give their 3-minute argument. The opponent will be able to give a 1-minute rebuttal to that specific argument, and then the presenter will be able to give a 1-minute response, and then we will flip sides. At the end of each debate, there will be a poll from the audience, and you can vote who you think won the actual debate. Are there any questions before we get started? All right, I think we will be entertained. Jonathan?
Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining me tonight. Moat, my assistant, we're trying to coordinate a elephant dance, but it just went terrible, so that's why he's not here. The real reason why I'm here is because Jennifer and her lovely daughter bribed me with Girl Scout cookies. So I am here just for the food. So, and other than that, I hope you guys have fun. Put your thinking caps on, because I know everybody's ready for these arguments. So first off, we're gonna have the battle of the alumni. In the blue corner, wearing the red rope tonight, we have Lee Barrett, who spent 12 years on multiple degrees, not just one degree, at Yale University. And I quote, the reason why he didn't want to leave was he didn't want to pack up his room because it looks like his office now. Your RA is still looking for you. There's overdue fines to help you move out. Dr. Barrett knows his food very well. He knows that New Haven is the birthplace of pizza. Frank Pepe's is the best. I agree with that. And the hamburger. So if you're ever in New Haven, stop by Louis Lunch and have the first hamburger. All right, more importantly, there's a song which I'm not going to sing, but I'm sure Dr. Barrett can sing it for you. It's very near and dear to his heart. And that's actually what drove him to salvation. Justification by grace. So that's probably something that he'll explain later. All right, Dr. Barrett, you have 3 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to cite the Whiff and Poof song, which goes, "We are poor little lambs who have gone astray, ba, ba, ba. Gentlemen songsters off on a spree, ba, ba, ba. Damned from here to eternity, ba, ba, ba. God have mercy on such as we, ba, ba, ba." That triggered my repentance and my conversion.
Okay, we'll be having an altar call after the debates.
Good.
And you guys can all come forward, and Dr. Barrett will lay hands on you all.
Well, I want to make a few points about the superiority of Harvard. Number one, Harvard has an almost infinite roster of wise, compassionate, humanitarian civil servants. Just consider these names: Jared Kushner, Steve Bannon, Kylie McEnany, Mike Pompeo, all stalwarts of the Trump administration. And also imagine the glories of Harvard Square. It has so many intellectual stimuli that I feel dizzy and I enter a state of spiritual euphoria, not unlike the feeling that I get when I attend a first grade birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese's. And Harvard has its share of presidents, including the memorable, incomparable Rutherford B. Hayes. Where would retail stores be without the Rutherford B. Hayes birthday sales? And Harvard is a humble people's university, avoiding the nasty, snooty elitism of Yale. Harvard has houses, but Yale has those notorious secret societies. They have sinister names like Skull and Bones and Scroll and Key. Their membership is a secret, their alumni are a secret, and what they do is a secret. But rumor has it that they are in league with other nefarious organizations like the Illuminati, the Rosicrucians, the Templars, the Mafia, and the CIA in a plot to dominate the universe. That's what's been reported on Fox News, so it must be true. Now I cede my time to my opponent.
Correct. And for the record, Dr. Barrett is arguing for Harvard, and Dr. Thayer will be arguing for Yale. Okay, Dr. Thayer.
Well, Dr. Barrett, you mentioned that Harvard lacks secret societies, but this simply confirms my sense that spies come from Yale. Yale is well known as a feeder school for the CIA. And, you know, how can anything significant be accomplished en plein air, as they say? We need parking lot conversations and sidebar conversations. Harvard has the motto Veritas, truth. You mentioned some of its luminaries. You mentioned some close advisors and relatives of a recent proponent of alternative facts. I would suggest to you that Harvard needs a strong dose of Deaconess Micah Kennedy Stevens' famous CRAP test: currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose. And if you don't know about the CRAP test, just ask somebody who's taken church history. Also might point out that Harvard.
Time. That was 1 minute rebuttal. Okay. Dr. Barrett, you have 1 minute now.
Okay. Dr. Thayer, you impugn the veracity of Harvard graduates in public life, but consider the example of Senator Ted Cruz, Harvard graduate. Today, he was asked why he was flying to Cancun while his constituency in Texas was suffering with no electricity and no heat in the midst of a blizzard. And he told the truth. He said, "I had to take my daughter to a beach party." Now that's truthfulness.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So now we'll be shifting over to Dr. Thayer, and she's a graduate of Harvard. She has her MA and PhD from there. She says it's the place that's closest to the center of a human intellectual at Harvard Square. Interesting. And she could be there on rainy afternoons wandering through the immersed stacks of Widener Library, sampling volumes of subjects you've never heard of. Wow, sounds beautiful. I am from New England, so I can say yes. I've been to many libraries on many schools. All right, so where is Harvard? In Harvard, or where's Harvard?
In Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Cambridge. Don't get confused like I did. Don't get confused. All right. Okay, so Dr. Thayer, you have 3 minutes to state your point for Yale.
And it might take me a little bit longer because Yale is such a spectacular school. So here I am on the lovely campus of Yale, located in New Haven, Connecticut. As a historian of the Middle Ages, what more could I want in a campus than lovely neo-Gothic architecture like Harkness Tower? But perhaps you would prefer more magical architecture, a la Harry Potter. then you could always live in a Yale residential college. Not quite Richards Hall, but each one has its noble traditions, from Jello wrestling to weekly group screams. But this is just the start of what Yale has to offer. If you want a great education, Yale is the place for you. Undergraduates have a choice of 81 majors, including my favorite, special divisional major. You want an advanced degree? Yale is the place for you. As I've already mentioned, Yale is a feeder school for the CIA. I heard a Yale alum boast just the other day, "Yeah, I know a lot of spies." Want to live in a beautiful oceanside city less than 2 hours from the Big Apple? If you go to the Visit New Haven website, you'll find out that the arts in New Haven range from world-class to the downright quirky. You'll also learn that the region lays claims to many firsts, including the corkscrew, the lollipop, the hamburger sandwich, and the frisbee. Want a community characterized by activism, past and present? In 1758, Yale President Jonathan Edwards was an early recipient of a smallpox vaccination to encourage others to receive it. He died from it, but he had the right idea. Moving more toward the present, in 2005, Yale committed itself to be carbon neutral by 2050. And just 10 days ago, Yale Divinity School received $15 million to fund Living Village, a triple net zero living community. What could be better? US presidents on your mind? Yale has provided us with such greats as William Howard Taft, the only president to be a Supreme Court justice. Gerald Ford, who turned down offers to play with the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions to come to Yale. George H.W. Bush, a cheerleader at Yale. Bill Clinton, our only president from Arkansas. George Bush, another cheerleader. Like the fine arts, Yale School of Drama has produced stars like Meryl Streep, Angela Bassett, Paul Newman, and Lupita Nyong'o. None of that hasty pudding stuff, or is it figgy pudding? Like sports, Yale is famous for producing Olympic athletes, especially in swimming and rowing. There must be something in the water. And get this, in 2019, the last time the game was played, Yale beat Harvard a whopping 50-43. Go Bulldogs.
Thank you very much. I can attest that there is something in the water in New Haven. Don't drink the Housatonic water. Okay. Dr. Barrett, your response.
Well, as I'm defending Harvard, I want to warn our viewers that everything you have just heard from Dr. Thayer is fake news concocted by the liberal media. And I'm only going to dignify some of her more outrageous claims with a rebuttal. Take the boast about presidents who are Yale graduates. Look at that list. They're all losers. Harvard's dropouts are a more illustrious bunch. Think of Harvard's dropouts. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and Ted Nijinski, the Unabomber. As far as Unabombers go, he was the best. And Dr. Thayer boasts of Harvard's theologians. Well, Yale's theologians. Well, Harvard's faculty has always been devoted to the art of teaching. Consider Perry Miller, the peerless pioneer of Puritan studies. He gave a seminar on Puritanism in his own office. And after a student had read a paper, he looked up and said, "What a crock of beans." He didn't say beans, he used a different word. And then he fell down on the table and died. Now, I admire that. His last breath was giving critical, constructive feedback to a student.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Barrett. Your final response?
Yale has a magnificent range of dropouts. Harvard might focus on high tech in their dropouts, but we at Yale focus on the humanities. James Fenimore Cooper, the author, Mark Rothko, the painter, Oliver Stone, the director, Joan Van Ark, the soap opera actress, and Dick Cheney. As President George W. Bush said to him, a Yale degree is worth a lot. We know if you graduate from Yale, you become president. If you drop out, you get to be vice president. And, you know, Perry Miller might have shown dedication to his students in his seminar, but Yale faculty show great pastoral care for their students. Take Henry Nouwen, for instance. He knew students were anxious during their Greek and Hebrew exams, so he would dress up as a clown and come through the exam hall with a little broom to dust off their feet and relieve their anxiety. He also wrote a book called Clowning in Rome.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for all that information. I hope you guys submit your works cited page at the end of this. I will be checking, make sure it's Turabian format, 12 fonts, double space, please. All right, so now Jennifer is going to give you a link where you can vote for who you think won this debate. There you go.
You all see the poll?
Yes.
Oh, I hope it works. All right, I'm gonna close the poll. We might have to do it later because it did not work. Okay, I will work on this technical difficulty while we move on to the next debate.
I was going to say this poll was funded by all the excess funds that the seminary has. So sounds about right that it didn't work. All right. So moving on to our next debate, which is for coffee. Everybody loves coffee, right? Some people in the morning, some people all the time. If you're a seminary student, probably gallons at a time. But our two contestants that are bringing up their point of view, we have our dean, Dr. appropriately named Vanessa Lovelace, all right? So she's gonna be arguing for Hazelnut, but the truth is she can't go anywhere without her PSL. She is a diehard fanatic, and she describes it as it's a steam espresso with steamed milk combined with traditional autumn spices of cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg, topped with whipped cream and pumpkin pie spices that signals the warmth and joy of the fall season. Doesn't that sound delicious? That sounds actually, all right, can we go get some PSLs right now, everybody? Okay, so Dean Lovelace, you have 3 minutes to present your point for Hazelnut coffee. Oh, and we have a PowerPoint. All right, bonus points.
So, Dr. Catherine, I am here to argue in favor of hazelnut creamer. Behold the beauty. Behold the beauty of the hazelnut, that stunning fruit of the hazelnut tree. The hazelnut is not just beautiful to the eyes, but it is a superfruit that contains many healthy benefits. It's high in monounsaturated fat that is good for the heart. It is a super antioxidant food. It's rich in folic acid, and it's a good source of protein, dietary fiber for those good smooth bowel movements, iron and potassium. The hazelnut has many uses. You can use the hazelnut to make that delicious, sweetened hazelnut cocoa Nutella spread that you can enjoy on toast, pancakes, and waffles. You can enjoy hazelnut flavored ice cream. Add chopped hazelnuts to your fish or chicken to give it that special nutty flavor, or bake your favorite cookies. But the best use of hazelnut is the combination of the rich, toasted, nutty flavor, smooth cream, and sugary goodness to make hazelnut creamer to go with my morning coffee. I cannot begin my day without the delectable aroma of the hazelnut wafting through from my cup of hot coffee. Mmm, what nutty goodness.
So Dr. Williams, who is a confessed avid tea drinker and confesses to occasionally sipping a cup of coffee, must be during those stressful times of reading our papers. I don't blame her. But nuts are her second comfort food. So because she loves us so much, and in that Pauline spirit, be all things to all people, she decided to tout the values and virtues of a pumpkin spice latte. Dr. Williams, you have 3 minutes. I'm sorry. Yes, you're responding to Dean Love.
That's okay. I'm confused enough anyway. You got me.
1 minute to
Turn my brain around. Dean Lovelace touts all of the benefits, the health benefits of the hazelnut. What Dean Lovelace did not indicate is what quantity of hazelnut is there in the Nutella compared to the sugar that overloads the product. When Dean Lovelace touts the nutty, smooth flavor of the hazelnut in the creamers, what Dean Lovelace does not indicate is all the preservatives that go in to that creamer to give it shelf life, and the percentage of hazelnut that there is to those other ingredients, not forgetting the sugar. So I propose that, particularly as people predisposed to diseases like high blood pressure and heart disease and cholesterol, diabetes, that the hazelnut is not so good for us after all.
All right, thank you, Dr. Williams. Dean Lovelace, your final response.
With my eyes barely open, trying to make it through to the rest of this evening, I know the one thing that will revive me is that wonderful aroma of that good and fruity, nutty, sugary, creamery hazelnut creamer.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so remember her arguments, and Dr. Catherine Williams, I've already introduced you. She will be arguing for the pumpkin spice latte. All right, you have 3 minutes.
The pumpkin spice latte, as you see it here displayed behind me, full of all kinds of delicious goodness. Pumpkin puree is actually included in the ingredients list in a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. Potassium, you know that's good for you. Beta carotene, wow. Vitamin C and E, talk about healthy skin. A 2015 study in Japan showed that diets high in carotenoids may help prevent development of metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome, the medical name for a combination of diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure, which increases the risk of coronary heart disease and stroke. None of that stuff if you drink enough pumpkin spice latte. the energy boost that you need. You know that 3 o'clock in the afternoon letdown where you just feel like, okay, the day should be done already, but there are more hours left. The energy boost you get from that pumpkin spice latte is indescribable. And who can forget the value of comfort? We all know what it is like to have comfort food, that rich whipped cream on top of that, those spices just sprinkled throughout and simmering in that latte and that espresso, a feeling that I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay.
All right. Thank you so much for that. I feel okay right now. I think I'm going to convince my wife to let me drink more coffee after that one. All right. You have 1 minute, Dean Lovelace.
So the pumpkin spice latte. What can I say except that it's overpriced, overrated, much too many calories, a poor imitation of pumpkin flavor, and I will be glad when its time in the spotlight has passed. The pumpkin spice latte. Boo.
All right. Thank you very much. You have 1 minute, Dr. Williams.
What can I say? The endorsements count. And what better endorsement can you want than good old Charlie Brown? Every Thanksgiving, there's good old Charlie Brown. Does my heart good. Makes me forget about the calories. Thank you.
Amen, amen, and amen. All
Okay.
right. So
We're
if you're
gonna
looking
try
for a secret connect, I know where my wife picked up a pumpkin spice latte today. Just, you got to fork over some money.
All right, we're gonna try the poll. No, I'm sure you're all voting, but it is not coming through on my end. I apologize.
You sound like an ex-president.
We got to find the votes. Find them right now, please.
Let's try. Try
Do it
now.
again? Okay.
Well, I hope they don't shut down the school for investigating voter fraud now, because we'd be in trouble. Okay, as we're tallying our votes, we're going to send them out to Iowa, so it might be a few months before they get back. Let's introduce our next two debaters. We have Elizabeth Bennett, who takes care of making sure the lights stay on, and she's going to be arguing for Christmas dinner. And unfortunately, she loves Thanksgiving dinner. On Christmas Day, she does nothing, she says, because she just is also known as the Grinch. But I'm going to let her speak her points on Christmas dinner. And debating her would be our president, David Rowe, who loves Christmas Day. And he'll be arguing for Thanksgiving. So let's see what fun they have. We'll start off with Elizabeth Bennett as she presents Christmas dinner.
So the best thing about Christmas dinner is the way the whole season starts. Who doesn't love staying up all night on Black Friday, trying to get into a store, get into the mall, so you can shop all day long? It's just the best. And then following that wonderful Black Friday, scouring the stores and shopping online to find just the perfect gifts for all of your loved ones, you need to decorate your house. I spend 4 weeks of my life looking at Pirate Santa. He lights up my back room, and every time I go in there, I call him Pirate Santa because he doesn't really quite look like a Santa, as you can see, but he's in my room, in my back room, by my Christmas tree for 4 weeks. And then after you do the decorating of your house and spend weeks looking at this guy, it just wouldn't be Christmas if I didn't have this little fellow who sits on my shelf. As you all might know, the elf on the shelf. And more nights than not during the week, I sit up straight in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, did I remember to move the elf? And I have to run down the stairs and make sure that I move the elf so my kids wouldn't be disappointed. It's, you know, these little cuties are just so much fun. So by the end of that time, it's time for Christmas Eve. And at Christmas Eve, I am just in such a state of relaxation from all the calm, quiet things that have gone on for the past 4 weeks that I just can't wait to put my kids to bed and wake up 2 hours later to wrap all the presents. So they will be truly surprised in the morning. And then on Christmas morning, when everyone opens the gifts, I'm not offended at all when my mom says she'll take a pass on the gift that I so carefully picked out for her. So the culmination of this entire season is Christmas dinner. And it's just such a wonderful afternoon spending with your family around the dinner table, enjoying a wonderfully prepared meal. And I will say this, the most difficult part of the preparation of Christmas dinner is transferring these delicious meals from the Wegmans plastic container to my fine china so no one can see the plastic. And I have to say that I'm really happy that Wegmans moved to town because Christmas dinner is always delicious.
All right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. Okay. So it seems that the North Koreans have infiltrated our voting polls, and we're currently working on that. We would request some more funds, so we'll wait on those, and then we'll fix our polls. As of right now, we will get back to you on how voting is going to work. But President Rowe, you have 1 minute.
Well, the first thing I want to say about Christmas dinner in response to what Ms. Bennett just laid out is it starts on Thanksgiving. So hold on for a minute. We're going to get to Thanksgiving. So she already admitted it starts on Thanksgiving. Where would Christmas dinner be without Thanksgiving? And then she talks about putting those lights on their houses. Some of us are old enough to remember Jimmy Carter when he asked us not to put decorations out and to conserve energy. And in this time of global warming, Christmas really does make those meters spin. The third thing she points out is creepy little people around her house that are stuffed and move at night. And what do you mean you had to move the elf? My elf moves all on its own, which brings me to my final point. My final point about Christmas is I suspect that everything leading up to that meal has something to do with a big lie.
Hey, okay. All right. You have 1 minute, Ms. Bennett.
Well, I just have to show you the Santa again. And I don't know how anyone can go through Christmas without having this big plastic Santa that's lit up with lights. And actually, since this one is from probably before Jimmy Carter, this is probably from the Eisenhower administration. The lights that are in it certainly are not LED, but why would you want LED? Why wouldn't you want one of those old time lights to light up your back room? I mean, really. And you know, I think that these little Christmas elves need to make a, you know, maybe I should bring it out like in July so I can wake up in the middle of the night and try and and see if I can move it again. It's just, the whole season is just so much fun.
All right, thank you very much. You said Eisenhower. You might want to get that checked for lead poisoning. That's a long time.
I know.
All right. So thank you very much for your presentation on Christmas dinner, which I'm already ready for. But before that, we have Thanksgiving dinner, and that's where President Rowe comes in. You have 3 minutes.
All right. Well, happy Spirit Week, everyone. And in the spirit of Spirit Week, I want to ask your help with just opening up this argument for me, because we're all on the same page here. We all love food. We all love football, and we all love fat naps. So I want you to unmute yourselves and join me in saying food, football, and fat naps. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Food, football,
and fat naps.
Yes.
So that's what Thanksgiving is all about. You might think of it as what's on the table behind me, but it's everything around it. It's food, football, and fat naps. You talk about the food. What other meal throughout the year gives you cranberries? The things that are shaped exactly as God made them, in the shape of a tin can. Cranberries on the table, sliced up exactly like a tin can. Who knew that God was so creative to give us cranberries shaped like a tin can? And what about drumsticks? You can hold them in your hand. You can walk around the house. You can go out into the lawn in your pajamas and eat a drumstick without any kind of utensil. What other meal doesn't have something as convenient as a turkey drumstick? And finally, 2 named foods, stuffing or dressing. Who cares? Call it both, eat it all. The second thing I want to talk about is football. Now, the food continues over football. You continue to have snacks there. And if you really are a true Thanksgiving football fan, and I know this is going to be unpopular, particularly with Dean Lovelace and all of you up here in the Mid-Atlantic, but I'm from Texas. We got to root for the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. And so I might have lost a few votes there, but we got to root for the Cowboys. And at the Cowboys sideline, there's always a turducken. The food continues even on TV. And finally, a fat nap. None of us know anything about food chemistry, but we all know the word tryptophan. Tryptophan, the thing that puts us to sleep for that fat nap. We can loosen our belt. We don't have to worry about what we just ate. And we can be the first ones on the recliner to snore. So there's 3 things that Thanksgiving dinner reminds me of. That's food, football, and a fat nap. You can't have Thanksgiving without all 3 of those things. And I know you love all 3 of those things. And so get ready, come on over. We're at the president's house, the table's set. We're going to have food, football. You can go home for the fat nap.
All right. Thank you for showing us how weird the South really is. Okay. But I do like that reference to the turducken. If you guys don't know, Google it. It's very, very amusing. All right. Ms. Bennett, 1 minute.
So I guess I am responding to your comments about the cranberries in the shape of a tin can. And I have to say, I can't argue with you on that one. It is amazing. It really is how it just comes out, and it even has the little ridges in it. So you know where to slice. You got that one. Fat naps, tryptophan. I think that in the latest research, they found that you really need an antibiotic to combat against tryptophan, because there may be some other things that happen besides just taking a nap. I won't go into it. It's ugly, but anyway. But football, the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, America's team. Talking about voting, did I miss the vote on this? Why are the Dallas Cowboys America's team? I mean, Jerry Jones has to be the most despicable.
Your time's up, but keep going. Keep going.
He fired Tom Landry. Who fires Tom Landry? He's the one. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. And Troy Aikman, everywhere you look, Troy Aikman, he never goes away. He's everywhere. Every time you turn on the TV.
That's right.
And just so you know, from 1997 to 2015, the Cowboys record was 152 to 152.
Amen. I'm a Giants fan. I could not cut her off. She had valid points there. So up here in the North, we do things differently. Okay. All right, you have 1 minute to respond.
All right. Well, if you're going to give me cranberries, I'm going to give you Jerry Jones because we'll agree to Jerry Jones, and we'll just think of the Cowboys with Tom Landry and Roger Staubach
Yes.
in the day when the Cowboy Stadium had a big 100-yard opening in the top, so God could watch God's team play. And so that's what Thanksgiving is all about. Even God wanted to watch God's team play on Thanksgiving Day. And so, you know, if you have a little Cowboys, you have a little cranberries. I mean, what more do you need for a great day? You're surrounded by family, you're surrounded by friends, and people can engage around the Thanksgiving table in civilized, civil, thoughtful discourse, disagreeing thoughtfully with relatives that they only see once per year. Where else has the American democracy been forged than around the rolls and the butter and the mashed potatoes of Thanksgiving dinner?
All right, thank you very much. And it's not a disagreement when everybody dislikes the same team. So, okay, so let's see if we got the voting up. Is that
Okay, so everyone, this will take a little bit of effort, but I think it'll be well worth it. I'm putting 2 links in the chat. Please go to both of the links to vote for all 3 debates this evening. And I will set a timer for 1.5 minutes, and hopefully that will be enough for us to be able to click through.
Jen, was there a separate one for Dr. Thayer and Dr. Barrett, or did that one work?
In one of the links, there are 2 polls.
Jen, I didn't get anything.
In the chat? I'm sorry. So you have to look in the chat and click on
both?
both
Okay.
links. Yeah.
Oh, Jen, I clicked on the first one and it said that I'd have to leave the meeting and go to a different meeting in order to respond to the poll.
Okay. Is that what it's saying for others as well?
I don't know.
No.
No,
It
usually
doesn't
just
say
clicking
that.
it opens the other window. Maybe it's a setting thing on your computer.
Okay.
Martha, you want to just send me a private message if you don't
No,
want
the second link worked. The first one didn't. I'm on my iPad, so maybe that makes a difference.
Okay.
But it only gave me one. It only gave me the one debate to vote for. So maybe I have to go back to the other one.
One link gave me mine and Dr. Williams, and one link gave me Dr. Rowe and Elizabeth. I never got one
Yeah,
for.
I don't have the
Same here.
Dr. Barrett and Dr. Thayer poll.
I'm going to suggest that if you want more money for Spirit Week, you vote for Miss Bennett by acclamation.
Okay.
I think
I'm a
you lost your
certified fraud
debate when you
examiner.
brought
I
up the
don't-
Cowboys. You just kind of handed it over to her.
I just walked it over to her. Huh?
This is the wrong demographics for that one.
Here we are right between the Steelers and the Eagles. When I was growing up, it was the Steelers. Then it became the Eagles later.
Yeah, well, this is the rest of the NFC East. So,
Okay. Which one is not showing?
Dr. Thayer and Dr. Barrett.
Yep.
You know, Terry Bradshaw's from Louisiana, right?
Yep, he fries his turkey.
He does. On Thanksgiving.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
I'm sorry, is it over?
All right, we
That's
got
not-
it now.
all right, it works.
Okay. 3rd link. Trying
Does
to
it all?
Just
Okay.
thanks for your patience. Are you getting them?
Yes, they work.
Okay.
Jen, were you waiting on some payments?
Well, what day of the month is it? I only do bills once a month, and I guess I skipped this one.
Mentimeter can be tricky. I've used it myself. It's a little quirky.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the first time I'm using it. and I'm only using it because the other option wasn't
Zoom
working.
polls didn't work.
Did everyone vote for the third poll that I just
All
did?
three, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Are we ready?
Mommy, can
Do you have the final results? Hello.
I do.
She could open the envelope for you.
Okay, here we go. For Dr. Thayer versus Dr. Barrett, here are our results. And please don't touch the fish. For your entertaining pleasure. What was I doing again? Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you.
Ooh,
It's a
great.
tie!
It's a,
What?
oh my gosh.
We demand a recount. People demand a
A
recount.
recount.
It was rigged.
They'll have to debate again.
Wait, isn't Harvard beats Yale 29-29? Is that how it goes?
Okay,
Oh,
for the second poll, which is Dean Lovelace versus Dr. Williams. And apparently there's a third option that people voted for.
it was blank on our screens.
So
Why would you pick the third option?
here we go. Here are our answers. Dr.
Oh my
Williams.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Okay.
So option 3 was probably, two of them. Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And one more.
You're muted, Jen.
Thanksgiving versus Christmas. Let's
I'm
see.
talking to my soon-to-be 5-year-old. So. I mean, I could continue to entertain you all night probably with chatter with some children. But for our final debate.
Whoa.
Oh. It was the canned cranberries.
It's
that
a
must have done it.
landslide for the Cowboys.
Pirate Santa.
They did better in this than they did in the year. In the year. In the season.
This was wonderful. I hope you all had a wonderful time.
It was great.
I certainly laughed. Yes, let's round of applause for all of our panelists.
For everybody and the
debaters.
committee for putting it together. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so good to see all of you. Again, tomorrow's our last day. We hope that you'll join us for the different events that we have coming up. And we hope that you all have a great term. Let's finish this term strong.
Excellent. Thanks again.
Thank
Jen.
you,
Nice to see you.
SCC.
Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
everybody.
Thank you, faculty.
It was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Bye-bye.
Thanks for your patience with the polls.
No problem. No problem. See ya.
Great
Bye-bye.
job, Jen. Great job.
Really great.